Alright, Kelly. Let's gonna give this another try. Keep screwing it up in the audio is not very good, so I'm sorry. What I typically do is I pull out 12 inches of yarn for every 20 cast on stitches that I need. Because we only need 4 cast on stitches to start this dishcloth, you only need to pull out just a few inches. You need to leave enough of a tail to weave in your ends. Okay, so make a slip stitch. I'm sure you know how to make one of those. And I'm also going to use my size 7 Addy Turbo because that's what you have. So I slip, doesn't matter which end of the needle, slip it into the slip stitch and pull it tight, but not too tight. You want to be able to have it move freely. Now take your yarn tail, the short end, wrap it over your thumb, and then the yarn coming off the ball of yarn over your index finger, between your index finger and your middle finger, and then kind of hold them like that, so it's over your thumb, over your index finger, and the rest of your fingers kind of securing both the yarn tail and the yarn from the ball of yarn. So then what you do is hold the slip stitch with your index finger to keep it in one place. Take the tip of your needle and go to pick up the yarn off the top of your thumb. Pull it over and then grab the yarn that's coming off the top of your index finger. And it'll create, see that loop of yarn on your needle? Slide your thumb out and just pull. Then you have a cast on stitch. Repeat, go from the outside of your thumb, pick up that yarn, carry it over, pick up the yarn off the top of your index finger, slide it through. You've got another stitch. Repeat, from the outside of your thumb, over the top of the yarn off your index finger, pick it up and slide it through. Pull it. Now you have 4 cast on stitches to start the dishcloth. Oop. Okay, you don't do that. And I'm not going to restart this video. You just slide your stitches back on. And I lost 1 stitch, so I gotta recast. Okay, 4 stitches. Now, you always knit off of your left needle and onto your right needle. I mean, some people knit backwards, but you don't want to learn that way. Okay, so what I do is I pick up my needle in my right hand. Then I hold my stitches there because I knit continental. That means I hold and tension the yarn with my left hand. I, underneath my pinky, wrap around it, go up and under all of my fingers, go over my index finger twice. Some people only do that once. I do it twice or my stitches end up too loose. You'll find where your happy medium is the more you knit. Okay, so we got 4 cast on stitches, and first we need to do the knit stitch. This one is fairly simple, and this project only uses knit stitches, no purl stitches. So for when you're knitting, you're always knitting into the left side of the stitch. You're going in and pushing your needle behind, because when you're knitting, your working yarn, which is this, is always behind your project. So you slip your needle in from left to right with your needle going behind your left needle. Scoop up that yarn and pull it through that stitch, slide it off the needle. Do it again, left to right, pick up the yarn, pull it through. Now, to increase the stitch, you want to create a little eyelet along the edge of this dishcloth. You're going to do a yarn over, and it increases 1 stitch. It's just a loop of yarn. Just wrap it like that, hold it down, and then knit left to right, pull it through the rest of the row. Left to right, pull it through. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. On every row, you're increasing 1 stitch. So you flip your needle over, because you always knit from your left needle to your right, and you do the same exact thing. Left to right, pull the yarn through. Left to right, pull the yarn through. So you knit 2 stitches at the beginning of every row, do a yarn over, just wrap the yarn, and knit to the end of the row. knit 1, knit 2, yarn over, knit to the end of the row. Now I'm going to pick up speed so I can get to where it's at least a bit of a triangle shape so you can see what you're doing. Knit 1, knit 2, yarn over, knit to the end of the row. Knit 1, knit 2, yarn over, knit to the end of the row. Now this is called garter stitch. When you're knitting on both sides of the project, it creates these ridges, which for a dishcloth is really good because it's kind of scrubby. Knit 2, yarn over, knit to the end of the row. And you're going to keep doing this until you have, I think my grandmother always did about 45 stitches on the needle. But it's really, I mean, it's a dishcloth. It does, if you want it bigger, keep doing it a little bit longer. If you want it smaller, like you want to make a coaster or a little scrubby pad, you can do far less. 1, 2, yarn over, knit to the end of the row. And keep in mind too, when you're knitting, when you get to the end of your row, you're going to see a yarn over stitch, and you just knit that like you would a regular stitch. Here, when I get to it, I'll show you. Knit, knit, knit. There's your yarn over from the previous row. Just same way. It just doesn't have a little loop holding it on the bottom. Just knit it the same way. Knit to the end of your row. Now you can see you're starting to get a bit of a triangle shape because you're knitting the dishcloth on the diagonal. Alright, I'll pick up this video when I get to the middle and we're ready to start decreasing.